Good afternoon. I'm Ray Collins. Scott Dennis is off today. We begin with some breaking news overseas. The Parliament in central London is in lockdown after reports of a shooting. Officials there say a man has been shot by police. Two people were reportedly seen lying near the grounds of Parliament. This is a live picture now of the scene. One shot outside the Parliament, and a lockdown is right now underway. Police are calling this a terrorist accident until they know otherwise. We have a special report now to take you to in London.
This is an ABC News special report. Now reporting, George Stephanopoulos.
And we are coming on the air right now because there has been an attack on the British Parliament that is being treated as an act of terror. That is the scene in London. That is the map of London right now. The attack started around 9:40 a.m. Eastern time on that Westminster Bridge. You see that right there. According to eyewitnesses, someone driving a car across the bridge plowed into bystanders, eventually crashed into the gates by the British Parliament, and then somebody was able to make it through the gates into the grounds of the British Parliament. And apparently a man with a knife who was then attacked security guards inside the Parliament, was shot down. At least one person is dead right now. Reports that the assailant is down, having been killed by security guards this morning. The entire Parliament, the entire British Parliament, is on lockdown right now. That is the scene on the Westminster Bridge heading into the Parliament where the attack began. And moments ago, the leader of the House of Commons, in the British Parliament, David Lidington, spoke to the members who are on lockdown right now.
It seems that a police officer has been stabbed, that the alleged assailant was shot by armed police. An ambulance is currently attending the scene to remove the casualties. There are also reports of further violent incidents in the vicinity of the Palace of Westminster, but I hope colleagues on all sides will appreciate that it would be wrong of me here to go into further details until we have confirmation from the police and from the House security authorities about what is going on. I shall endeavour to do the very best I can, both at the dispatch box and by communicating with my opposite numbers in other political parties, to ensure that members are kept aware of what is happening. But at the moment, the very clear advice from the police and the Director of Security in the House is that we should remain under suspension and that the Chamber should remain in lockdown until we receive advice that it is safe to go back to normal procedures.
Our correspondent Alex Marquardt is on the scene in London right now. Alex, you're across the bridge there from the Westminster Castle, the Parliament. We just heard that the Parliament remains on lockdown, so police are not confident yet that this entire incident is contained.
Right, George. They haven't actually defined this as an act of terror yet, but they are assuming that this is a terrorist incident. Let me just give you a sense of where we are right here. Those are the Houses of Parliament inside the Palace of Westminster. That bridge right there is the Westminster Bridge. You can see traffic has been stopped. That entire area has been sealed off. Cars and buses do remain on the bridge. That's where we believe that the incident started, with the suspect in a car going up onto the sidewalk, mowing down and wounding several people on that sidewalk before continuing along and driving into Parliament Square, where he again rammed into the gates, rammed into people. As you mentioned, he got out and attacked a policeman with a knife. He was eventually shot and killed. Now, of course, this continent could hardly be at a higher state of alert. In fact, the alert level here in Britain is severe, meaning that an attack is highly likely. This is a very crude method of attack that we've seen elsewhere in Europe in the past 2 years since these terrorist attacks have started. Of course, last year in Nice, there was that the terrorist who attacked people along the quay, along the beach on Bastille Day, killing more than 80 people. And then just at Christmas, 12 people were killed when another terrorist rammed into a Christmas crowd, killing a dozen people. Again, the police here have not said that this is a terrorist incident, but terror officials here in the UK have warned that an attack here in London and beyond is not a question of if, but when. George?
Okay, Alex, it also comes on the anniversary of that attack on the Brussels airport and subway, which killed 35 people. That was March 22nd, 2016. Reports from inside the British Parliament also say that the British Prime Minister, Theresa May, was whisked away at the moment of the attack, put into a waiting car and taken away from the grounds of Parliament. As we said, this attack began on that bridge, that Westminster Bridge heading towards the Parliament. And a photographer, Radoslav Sikorski, was an eyewitness and spoke to eyewitnesses there. We want to hear what he had to say.
Taxi going from Westminster Square to the South Bank, and I didn't see the car, but I heard what I thought was just a collision. And then I looked through the window of the taxi, and I saw someone down, obviously in great distress. And then I saw a second person down. And I started filming, and then I saw 3 more people down, one of them bleeding profusely. So what I saw was an incident involving at least 5 people seriously injured.
We're looking at the video that you shot just moments ago. Can you describe what reaction there was, where the police were already there? What happened?
No. This was... I started filming seconds after the car passed, and people rushed forward to help the victims. So you saw the aftermath of what looks like a car driving into several people? Mowing down. I saw 5 people down. And then what happened? And then my taxi moved away, and the taxi driver informed the police. And then we started hearing sounds of ambulances.
It's on the bridge there, Radoslav Sikorski, and that's the video. He saw at least 5 people mowed down by that vehicle. Of course, this has put our own Department of Homeland Security on high alert as well. Let's go to Pierre Thomas with the latest on that.
George, senior FBI officials and Homeland Security officials, as you say, are aware. They're tracking this incident closely. The early guidance they have is what you've been reporting: 2 separate crime scenes, one involving an officer being stabbed at the Parliament, another involving people being mowed down by a vehicle. Law enforcement sources telling us that an investigation is underway to see if they are tied. People here are considering this a terrorist incident, even though it has not been officially described as such. Law enforcement officials deeply concerned, given the close working relationship that we have with the British government. And we are also being told now that police here in New York City are increasing security at several high-profile British targets here in New York City. Cecilia Vega, at the White House, the president already has been briefed by his national security advisor.
By H.R. McMaster, his national security advisor. George, we believe this briefing happened sometime around 11:30 this morning. The president is here at the White House in meetings mostly about health care today. We haven't heard much more. We have reached out to senior White House officials to find out exactly what the president knows and what the reaction from the White House is and will be. The president did make a brief comment about this in front of cameras today. They were in the room for these meetings on health care, and the president apologized for being late to women in the room, and that he said he was being briefed and apologized that he was dealing with that situation there in London. But George, as you know, day 62 of this presidency, and this would be perhaps one of the first large-scale terror attacks, if that ends up being what this is, that President Trump would have to respond to here. Okay, Cecilia Vega, and our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, also with us by phone right now. And Martha, this of course comes on the heels about 24 hours after the United States and Great Britain both announced a ban on certain electronics coming from direct flights from majority Muslim countries.
They certainly did, and that's what local authorities or our U.S. authorities are focusing on here, those laptops from those majority Muslim countries being banned from certain airports on flights into the United States. This is an entirely different kind of attack. If it turns out to be a terrorist attack, as Alex said, it's very crude. Apparently, so far, there is only one person involved that we know of. But whether there are others is what they're addressing right now. That's why that area is on lockdown, and they continue to bring in ambulances and other authorities.
Again, the British Parliament on lockdown. Thank you, Martha Raddatz. The British Prime Minister has been taken to a secure location, a terrorist attack, being treated as a terrorist attack in London this morning, about 5 hours ago. At least 5 people seen injured so far. That number could climb as well. It appears, according to police reports, that the assailant has been killed inside the grounds of Parliament. We're going to stay on top of this all day long, and we'll be back with special reports as we get more information. I'm George Stephanopoulos in New York.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
All right, back here on the Suncoast, the Punta Gorda police officer who was fired for fatally shooting a woman during a citizens training academy wants his job back now. The attorney for Officer Lee Coel filed an appeal to the city manager. Last August, Coel accidentally shot and killed Mary Knowlton. He is being charged with manslaughter. The police chief is charged with culpable negligence and is now on paid leave. In a statement from the Florida Chiefs of Police Association, we are closely monitoring the charges filed against Chief Tom Lewis in relation to his tragic accident. We are deeply concerned as to the implications this case could have for law enforcement leaders across the country. A Northport man has been sentenced for a major case of animal cruelty. 61-year-old Andy Gerberich pleaded guilty to half of the 61 charges against him. Last June, Animal Services found the animals living in deplorable conditions. 26 cats were removed. Others were found no longer living. He pleaded guilty to 8 counts of aggravated animal cruelty and 35 counts of confinement of an animal without water or food. Now, he's been sentenced to 11 months and 29 days in jail, just less than a year. Also new at noon in Northport, police need your help to find 2 people who attacked a Walmart employee in the restroom there, the women's restroom. Police say it happened this past Sunday morning at the Walmart on Tamiami Trail. The employee says that she was washing her hands in the restroom when a woman walked out of the handicap stall and allegedly pushed her and yelled at her. She also called her an offensive name as well. Here are some pictures now. The employee wound up escaping and running out of the restroom. Officers released these photos of the suspects. She was reportedly with another male. We're also told she allegedly struck the employee. If you can help, call the Northport Police as soon as you can. Happening today, Sarasota County Commissioners will decide whether to approve the rezoning of 77 acres of wetlands. The site is along 17th Street near the Meadows. Part of the plan includes a new country club, 180 units, and the expansion of a senior life facility. The senior facility plans to do wetland mitigation nearby, but some say to approve this would be akin to paving paradise.
This is being done against the objection not just of environmentalists, but of the environmentalists on the county's own staff. It violates the comprehensive plan, but these county commissioners seem like they'll just do anything for the developers.
I think that sometimes you need to look at a project more from a social benefit and a community benefit.
A public hearing is set for today at 1:30 at the county chambers on Ringling Boulevard. An important meeting tonight at Bradenton City Hall. It's a final hearing on a plan to increase the city noise ordinance. It would push back the 10 p.m. cutoff to 11 o'clock and midnight on weekends. Noise complaints would be measured at the property line of the complainant instead of where the noise is coming from. City Council talks tonight at 6 o'clock in downtown Bradenton. A victory for those fighting a development near the celery fields in Sarasota. Officials say a developer has pulled out on a contract to buy the land to build a new warehouse on the property. They wanted to rezone 7 acres to build a restaurant depot which sells food supplies and equipment. Those who live near the area are thrilled about the developer's decision.
I feel it's very good because those large trucks coming in and out of here would certainly have been not only disturbing to the people that live here, but as well as the animals and the birds that are out in the celery field.
We're very happy with the result today, but there's a long fight ahead of us, and a lot of us are energized to just keep moving forward and keep fighting.
Plans are still in place to build a new recycling facility in the area. Opponents are trying to stop that as well. Well, the Sarasota Film Fest is still about a week away, but there's an event tomorrow in Venice to generate excitement. The opening reception includes music, appetizers, and VIP guests. It is free and open to the public. It starts tomorrow at 5:30 at the Venice Arts Center. Right now, some pretty weather, but tomorrow, perhaps a change in conditions. Here's meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, I think change is a very good word for it. It looks like we have some increased clouds today that we haven't had over the last several days, but it's beautiful outside still. We had a little morning fog, an indication that the atmosphere is starting to moisten just a little bit. And maybe that'll set the stage for a few scattered showers around, which we could use tomorrow.
Wash the pollen away.
Wash the pollen away. I know you're one of the pollen sufferers.
All the time.
A lot of people are. It's been a bad pollen season. Taking a look outside, Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion shows fair weather skies to start off the morning, followed by a few fair weather clouds beginning to build and move in. Those fair weather clouds not producing rainfall today, as sunshine mixed with these fair weather clouds boost temperatures into the 80-degree range in inland areas, a little bit cooler right along the immediate coast. The reason for that is our winds are now onshore. With those onshore winds come an increase in humidity and a small window of time to bring that humidity back and maybe set the stage for a shower or two tomorrow. Talk more about that coming up in a few. Ray?
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. The push is on to secure more votes before tomorrow's big vote on Capitol Hill on health care reform. ABC's Kenneth Moten has details of that and the latest on an ex-campaign chair's possible ties to Russia.
President Trump's health care battle could take center stage tomorrow on the House floor.
It really is a crucial vote for the Republican Party and for the people of our country to finally repeal and replace the disaster known as Obamacare.
The day after the president's full court press at a congressional Republican dinner and on Capitol Hill.
Can you get the votes, Mr. President?
Today, more presidential pressure. Trump working the phones from the White House, staffers scurrying back to the Hill to try to win over those Republican no votes. 22 would kill the bill. Trump even pulling out the threats, telling GOP lawmakers they'd be fools not to support the bill, warning their next election is on the line.
I don't think this legislation is consistent with what the American people sent us here to accomplish.
But the 11th hour efforts overshadowed by the FBI investigation into the president, his campaign, and alleged ties to Russia. This morning, the Associated Press reports in 2005, Trump's ex-campaign chair, Paul Manafort, secretly worked for a Russian billionaire to advance the interest of Russian President Vladimir Putin. The AP reportedly obtained business documents. It says they show Manafort launched an ambitious pro-Putin political strategy. Manafort, who has repeatedly denied any connection to Russia, said this morning his work for that Russian billionaire did not involve representing Russian political interest. But it appears that work would still contradict previous statements made by Manafort and the Trump administration that he never worked for Russian interests. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
It was 7 years ago today the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, was signed into law. Democrats, including former Vice President Joe Biden and House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, are meeting today at the Capitol for a rally to save that program. According to a report released last week by the Congressional Budget Office, 24 million more Americans would be uninsured by 2026 under the GOP-backed health care bill. Here at home, the former president of Mexico is in Sarasota talking politics. Felipe Calderon is speaking twice today at the Van Wezel. He touched on a variety of topics this morning, including his personal view on President Trump's plan to build a border wall and also his plans to renegotiate the North American Free Trade Agreement.
We would suffer, of course, in Mexico, but the American people will suffer as well. Millions of jobs depend on the trade with Mexico.
Calderon says those jobs are primarily based in agriculture and the service sectors. He has a second lecture tonight at 7:30. The former president's visit will wrap up the 2017 Ringling College Library Association's Town Hall Lecture Series. However, the next session has already been announced. It'll include the former CIA Director John Brennan, presidential historian and author John Meacham, financial journalist and author Michael Lewis, cancer physician Siddhartha Mukherjee, and lastly, Reshma Sajani, who will speak on closing the gender gap in technology. Well, here's your chance to give feedback to the Sarasota County School District. Input is needed on areas of communication, curriculum, safety, and academics. The information received in the survey will help the district identify areas that need improvement. To fill out the survey and give feedback, go to our website at mysuncoast.com and click on links we mentioned. Well, high schools in the U.S. are not much of a challenge, at least to foreign exchange students. According to a survey by the Brown Center on Education Policy, foreign exchange students find that American high schools are less stimulating. They believe high schools here have easier classes, less homework, and lots of sports. The study also showed that assessment tests at American schools trail behind those of many other developed countries. The survey comes after a push in recent years to make the U.S. education system more competitive and more effective with other global education. Time for lunch. Let's go to the kitchen now. Here is Chef Judy. Judy?
Well, hi there, Ray. I'm really excited because I have a guest in the kitchen today, Chef Randy from Ruth's Chris. Now, they have a special wine dinner coming up. Favorite thing for me to do on a night off. What are you going to prepare today, Chef?
We're actually going to make a honey miso glazed cod. So I'm going to make the marinade with you, which I have everything right here. And I know sometimes in the household, every time you're watching a cooking show, it's kind of like, oh, just add this, add this, add this.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what it is, and I think you also put it on the website afterwards so you can look it up just in case.
Exactly. Perfect. So stay with us. We're coming back, and we're going to cook this delicious fish dish for you. Easy enough for you to make at home, but you might want to sign up for this wine dinner at Ruth's Chris. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Hey, Tampa Bay, join us for the premiere of a new St. Petersburg tradition, the St. Petersburg Seafood and Music Festival, happening Saturday and Sunday, March 25th and 26th from 10 to 8 p.m. at Northstraub Park. Savor mouth-watering Florida Gulf Coast seafood dishes by top restaurants and chefs while you enjoy great live music from some of Florida's top musical groups. So grab your family and friends for the St. Petersburg Seafood and Music Festival, March 25th and 26th. For more information, visit seafoodfestivals.com.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who has taken Xarelto or Pradaxa. If you or a loved one took the blood thinner medication Xarelto or Pradaxa and was then hospitalized for internal bleeding, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious, even fatal internal bleeding. If you suffered a stroke, heart attack, or serious internal bleeding, or if a loved one died after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call us now. Our network of attorneys have years of experience fighting the big pharmaceutical companies and is ready to fight for you. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto or Pradaxa who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You won't pay a thing unless your case is settled. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone.
Please call 800-928-6604. That is 800-928-6604.
Every now and then, factories authorize us to give deep discounts on furniture. And that time is now during the FlexSteel Factory Authorized Sale at Bacon's Furniture and Design. Shop the FlexSteel styles you love like Brandon, Dillon, Crosstown, Fleet Street Sectionals, and more. All at the guaranteed lowest authorized prices. Experience the beauty, the functionality, the quality for years to come with a lifetime warranty on FlexSteel's patented spring construction. The FlexSteel Factory Authorized Sale going on now only at Bacon's Furniture and Design.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
One.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
The temperatures across the region are generally pretty mild, a little warmer in inland areas. That's because we have an onshore flow of air and the water temperature is still close to the 70-degree mark. So with that, you get a little bit cooler wind off on the coast, keeping things a little bit cooler. Also, the humidity increasing because of that onshore wind flow. West now at about 10. We've got a 62-degree dew point. We've had a small window of time in which to help increase the moisture supply and set the stage for a few showers. Well, Mote Marine spotters all indicating along our area beaches that there are no toxins in the air causing respiratory illness, even though there may be some red tide in the waters. There hasn't been much of a problem at the beaches over the last several days. That's with an onshore wind flow. That has been with an offshore wind flow. Now we have an onshore wind flow. We'll see if it has any effect as those spotters continue to report in over the next several days. The very, very dry air that has been in place, indicated here by these tan contours, slowly being replaced by a little bit more moisture, heavier moisture. And that moisture will set the stage for a few scattered showers. The problem is there's such a limited amount of time to get the moisture back into the atmosphere at all levels, and it's just not really a thick, deep tropical moisture mass that's moving into the area. We don't have a great chance at seeing showers with this frontal boundary sinking south, about a 30% chance. That'll be tomorrow. And even if we get the rain, we're not going to get large volumes of rain. So if you're not looking for rain, tomorrow's going to be a great day for you. If you would like to have a little bit of rainfall on your lawn, you'll probably get a tenth of an inch or so if you get any at all. The frontal boundary located to the north, producing some cloud cover that stretches back toward Texas for us. A little bit of high cloudiness has moved in, some mid-level cloudiness as well. Nothing right now that is going to produce any rainfall today. If it happens tomorrow. And Titan radar not picking up a drop of rain around here. But the effects of that front can be seen just a little further to the north, where there have been some scattered showers just off the coast of the Carolinas and then stretching back into areas around the Atlanta airport, but nothing that's going to cause any problems. Another little area could create problems, though, for the center section of the country by Friday into Saturday. So we'll look at our 30% rain chance, hope we get a little bit of rain around here. And as quickly as it comes in, it leaves, leaving a beautiful weekend in store for us. Back to you, Ray.
Very nice. Thank you, John. In health news now, the FDA is linking hundreds of cases of a rare blood cancer to breast implants. Concerns were first raised back in 2011. The agency has found more than 350 cases, including 9 deaths. The FDA says the cancer is likely to occur with textured implants. Silicone or saline does not seem to matter. In many cases, when the lymphoma occurs, removing the implant and the tissue around it eliminates the disease, but some women may still need chemotherapy and radiation. Deaths caused by cardiac arrest can be greatly decreased if people had more access to defibrillators. That's why doctors are suggesting the devices be located at more places like coffee shops and ATMs. Cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death among people over 40 years of age. A defibrillator can deliver a life-saving shock, allowing the heart to restart itself. According to the Sudden Death Cardiac Arrest Foundation, about 1 in 8 patients could be saved with better access to defibrillators. Well, we'll preview 2 baseball games tonight, one in Sarasota and the other in Los Angeles, a big game there. And there's no reason to cry over your March Madness brackets. Let these babies pick your teams for you. We'll explain next.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
With Granny Nannies, they get to stay in the comfort of their own home.
It still gives them the dignity and the respect that they deserve. I do everything I can to make their lives easier.
To see them smile, to be there on their bad days as well as their good days, and be able to make their bad days a better day. It's about giving them the quality of life they deserve. I am Granny Nannies, a helping hand and a gentle heart.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Luxury for less at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com, AndServices.com.
In the sports world, the Chicago Bulls mourn the loss of the man who helped build the Michael Jordan dynasty. Jerry Krause passed away yesterday. He was the general manager during that 1990s golden era. They won 6 championships that era with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Jerry Krause was 77 years old. There is only one spring training game in the area today, and it's a night one. The Orioles will host the Rays tonight at Ed Smith Stadium. First pitch is 6:05. In the World Baseball Classic, the U.S. will play in the finals tonight against Puerto Rico. Team USA took on Japan, and here's how it ended. A bad pitch was a strike. Win is the first time in the history of the 11-year Classic the U.S. has gone on to the finals. They'll play tonight at 9 o'clock in Dodger Stadium. When it comes to March Madness, you can research all the teams you want or just let a baby figure it out for you. Yeah, babies at a Wisconsin child care center filled out their own brackets. They made their selections by choosing the seed numbers off the cards. The teacher says some babies did better than the experts.
We held up numbers like 1 versus 8. There we go, number 8. Good job. And we had them go through the numbers and pick which one they wanted. Oh, this one's completely intact, which is, I think, better than all the teachers.
And the intact bracket has North Carolina winning it all. There is no crying over our segment today with Chef Judy, with one of the finest restaurants in town, Ruth's Chris. Folks, take it away.
Randy, let's get started and cook. Is fun in here?
What we're going to do is we're going to start out with making the actual marinade.
Okay, perfect.
I have my gloves on all nice because I'm just going to go ahead and scoop these out, but I'm going to go ahead and say what they are. It's
Great.
6 tablespoons of honey. I'm just going to go ahead and...
Nice, rich, deep flavor.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when you're going to be cooking with fish, that just brings out the brightness. Love it.
We have a 4th cup of rice wine vinegar.
Perfect. Something I have in my pantry always.
Oh, yeah,
rice
and you can get any
vinegar,
of this
chili sauce.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Publix, whatever you want.
Chili sauce.
We have Melpoy chili sauce, 2 tablespoons.
Love it.
Which is
So
a
that
nice sweet
itself
chili.
is, I was going to say, makes a beautiful dressing.
Mix that with a little bit of butter and you're good to go.
Oh yeah.
We actually have some 2 tablespoons of white miso, which you could get at Publix as well.
Sure, and I know they have it, miso at Fresh Market, Whole Foods. It's really
An
kind of a
Asian-
common
Yep.
ingredient nowadays.
2 tablespoons of soy sauce.
Mm-hmm.
We have fresh chopped garlic, 2
Oh
tablespoons.
yeah, bring it.
We have 4 teaspoons of fresh ginger.
Yum. Now, if you don't have fresh ginger at home, you can also use in the tube. They
Yep.
have the ginger puree.
Absolutely. And 2 teaspoons of sesame oil.
Perfect.
And we have a little bit of fresh parsley as well that we're going to add in.
All right. That makes a perfect marinade. Now, a lot of people ask me about fish. How long should you marinate a piece of fish?
I mean, it kind of actually depends on the cut as well, but I believe in about 24 hours.
Okay.
Just like anything. So
Good.
I mix that up real nice. Gets a very nice look to it too.
Oh, God, the aroma with the garlic and the ginger. Oh, it's perfect.
So That's that. Now I did, just for making sure that we have it on time and everything, I already have one that we marinated.
Right in a Ziploc bag, it's going to be perfect.
Yep,
Gotcha.
Ziploc bag, just put it right in there. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a glove real quick, sorry.
That's okay. And you're going to actually roast it in the oven.
Yeah, we'll
as
roast it in
opposed
the
to
oven.
sear.
About
Good.
350 degrees. It's a smaller piece of fish for this one, just because we're doing this for the wine dinner, for the Dow wine dinner.
That's right.
And that's why I kind of wanted to bring this one on so we could talk about it. It's 5 different courses, 5 different wines. It's going to be a great item, but I wanted to show everybody on TV what we actually do because it's not normally in the restaurant as well.
And what's the date of that wine dinner? I want to double check my notes here. We have Thursday, March 30th at 6:30. $100 per person plus gratuity and tax. And these wine dinners are great. So let's go ahead and plate up. And
plate one up, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move this over to the side.
Can you tell I'm getting a little hungry?
I'm going to go ahead and grab some gloves again.
So that in itself, just to make the fish, is just a beautiful meal. But now you're going to totally spoil us because we're going to have this beautiful miso marinated fish and some beef, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had to bring the beef for you because I know how much you love the fillets.
I do.
One of the main courses actually is going to be a fillet with goat cheese on top with a aged balsamic reduction.
Wait till John Scalzi hears that in the weather room. I mean, that's it. He is going to be a happy guy.
We also have sweet potato fingerling potatoes.
Beautiful. To season with salt and pepper?
Just salt and pepper and olive oil.
Great.
Extra virgin olive oil, I like to do a little bit better.
Oh, yeah.
And so you kind of have this on as a side.
This is perfect to serve at home, is to do some of those sweet potato planks. It just looks great.
Absolutely.
And let's bring those fillets out of the oven real quickly.
I knew you were going to want those.
And don't forget, you can look on Ruth's Chris website, or you can go on mysuncoast.com, and there you can get the recipe. It'll be up there by tomorrow, videos. We also have a new weekly contest. You can win a $50 gift card. Every week there's a lucky winner. So please log on, sign up for our newsletter, enter that contest, and you've got it. Chef, this looks wonderful, and I have no doubt people are going to be very pleased to make it at home and attend your dinner. Thanks so much. I'm going to enjoy my lunch.
I met a girl, she made me smile, she made me wait. She crossed the street, she crossed my heart, she fixed her dress, she bit her lip.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hey, Tampa Bay, join us for the premiere of a new St. Petersburg tradition, the St. Petersburg Seafood and Music Festival, happening Saturday and Sunday, March 25th and 26th from 10 to 8 p.m. at Northstraub Park. Savor mouth-watering Florida Gulf Coast seafood dishes by top restaurants and chefs while you enjoy great live music from some of Florida's top musical groups. So grab your family and friends for the St. Petersburg Seafood and Music Festival, March 25th and 26th. For more information, visit seafoodfestivals.com.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No smile.
I mean, really moves me.
One.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
And welcome back. Parliament is right now on lockdown in central London after an officer was stabbed and the suspect was then shot and killed by police. A report has a car striking at least 5 people on the nearby Westminster Bridge. Again, Parliament is in lockdown and on suspension right now. It is being considered a terror event until proven otherwise. The U.S. National Security Advisor has briefed President Trump, who is at the White House. But again, the headlines so far from London: Parliament is on lockdown after an officer was stabbed and the suspect was shot and killed by police. The wild card, though, is what happened with the other situations on the Westminster Bridge. At least 2 or 3 other scenes involving people down. We'll have updates right here on ABC 7 throughout the afternoon. Other news now, a 15-year-old student from Tennessee is still missing, and police are looking for the teacher and father who they believe she might be with. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more on this mysterious story.
Today, this photo of a teenage student and the teacher accused of kidnapping her is haunting her family and authorities.
Everything that we're learning about him does nothing to calm our fears and our concerns for her.
Just days after the picture was taken, an alleged incident at school involving that teacher, Tad Cummings, and Elizabeth Thomas, his 15-year-old student.
He declared himself a father figure to her. Then she changes her social media status to that of wife. That adds up to a very scary picture.
The teacher was suspended for the inappropriate relationship. Police say he then fled with the girl.
Our message to Elizabeth is, we're still coming for you.
Now authorities are revealing more troubling details. Leading up to the kidnapping, Cummings began researching teen marriage online, specifically the age of consent, if law enforcement could track certain features on his Nissan Rogue, and if his SUV was good for camping. Sources tell ABC News that Cummings even watched a TV show about living off the grid. The morning Thomas left, her sister says Elizabeth woke her up with a message.
She said, you know, if I'm not back by 6, you need to come find me and call the cops.
That was 9 days ago.
Bring her back to us. We just cannot handle a day without her anymore. It's really hard.
The last clue of the pair's location, a cell phone ping from the day they vanished across state lines in Alabama. But since then, there have been no credible sightings of the two at all. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Back in Florida, a heartbreaking story where a crash killed a family of 5 on I-75. It happened Sunday morning near Gainesville. Here they are. A relative says 37-year-old Nathan Russell drifted off the road and hit the back of a stalled 18-wheeler. The crash killed him and his wife and 3 children. They were driving back to South Florida from a trip in Georgia. The driver of the stalled truck was not injured. A GoFundMe account has been set up with the funeral arrangements for this family. Very sad story. In Tampa, police stopped a bicyclist early this morning, and the situation quickly escalated. 2 men were suddenly involved. 1 or both fired shots at an officer. One of the men was handcuffed. After a 4-hour search, the other man is still on the run. A couple of very different public forums today here on the Suncoast, both in the north and south end of our viewing area. First off, on Anna Maria Island, city officials from Holmes Beach are holding the first of 2 bike path forums. It'll be held at 6:30 in the Holmes Beach Commission Chamber. A second session is set for next Wednesday. And now we go to the south in Venice, where county and state transportation officials will be on hand to talk about the roundabout at Jacaranda and Venice Avenues. Engineers want to do what it takes to reduce the crashes there. There'll be an instructional video also shown. The open house is set for today from 4 to 7 at the Woodmere Park in Venice. Well, you can see a lot of things in Walmart, but you don't expect to see a horse. That's what happened to customers in Houston when 2 men rode through the store this past Sunday evening. Galloping up and down the aisles, there's a bird's eye view, horse's eye view, I should say. Customers and employees were shocked by the sight. The men even rode it past security, who were just shocked. One of the guys on horseback says he and his friend were riding by and they wanted to try something different, and they did.
Buddy of mine, he was like, man, let's go in Walmart. And I'm like, man, I'm not going in Walmart. And he was like, man, come on, we gonna go.
And they did. The galloping went on for about 2 minutes. It was recorded on a cell phone and posted to social media. Walmart says they do not condone the stunt and are thankful that nobody was injured. Do not try that at home. A couple guys who simply decided to horse around in Walmart.
Oh, I can't believe you said that.
Me either.
I'm just thinking clean up on aisle 10. That's all I got.
I can't believe you said that.
There you go. I know. Anyway, we have some pretty weather out there. You know, we have a lot of blue sky out there, some fair weather clouds. Haven't seen that in a while. Should make for a nice sunset tonight with that still kind of dry air back behind these low, thin clouds. I don't think that we'll have anything in the way of any kind of rainfall around today. But moisture levels are increasing across the region, and I think that can be told by the temperature structure across the region. Warmer temperatures inland, cooler temperatures near the coast, and that means a better chance of rainfall over the next 24 hours as a front approaches. We'll talk about that in a minute, right?
Talk to you soon, John. Thank you. The one-time giant of retail shopping, Sears, says it's having a hard time keeping the doors open now. Some challenges the company says they're facing includes the merger with fellow struggling chain Kmart and its failure to keep up with changing shopping trends. Shares for Sears hit an all-time low last month. Last year, the company lost more than $2 billion. The Sears chairman and CEO has forwarded millions in funding to keep Sears afloat, but sales keep on fading. Sears plans to close 150 of its stores. Sesame Street and PBS are on the attack after President Trump said he didn't believe that tax dollars should support PBS. Look at this video.
Elmo, it does me no great joy to inform you that due to recent cuts in government funding to PBS, you are no longer employed by Sesame Street Workshop.
Huh? What?
Elmo, you're being laid off.
In the video, Elmo is getting canned due to budget cuts at PBS. He complains that he's worked at Sesame Street for 32 years and he's worried about his medical insurance and a pre-existing condition. The Cookie Monster and Telly were also let go in this make-believe video. By the way, tax dollars give PBS about $200 million a year. An amazing Suncoast woman when we come back.
The agents at SWC would like to show you pictures of all the homes that they've sold quickly for their clients. But they're just too many to show. Contact SWC today and find out for yourself. We just market your home better.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Car experts and customers agree. There's a whole lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And Subaru had the best resale value of all brands for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $209 a month or get 0% financing during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
You know, things can happen in an instant. We never expected Brady to be in an accident. And if he didn't have blood donors, he wouldn't be here.
To Suncoast blood donors and everybody in this community, I'd say thank you. You know, I'm gonna pay it forward.
Across the region, we have temperatures that are generally speaking a little bit warmer inland, a little bit cooler near the coast. And the reason for that, of course, is that west wind that has developed over the last 24 hours or so. And because the water temperatures are still kind of cooler, it's going to keep our temperatures today just a little bit cooler. As you can clearly see, we have daytime high temperatures, which probably won't make it much above the mid-70s or so. As far as inland temperatures go, expect much warmer than that. Across the state currently, we are looking at temperatures that are generally responding to a lot of daytime heating and some fair weather cloudiness. Nothing in the way of any kind of inclement weather for us here in Florida yet, but as we head into the next 24 hours, we could probably expect to see a few areas of scattered storms build, especially to the north. As I mentioned, area temperatures, especially in inland locations, will probably crack the 80 mark pretty quickly. As far as our dew points go, they also have risen. Now it's solidly into the 60s. And that's instructive as well, because with that 60-degree dew point number or better, we have a little bit better chance of some rain showers tomorrow. We've had some dew points that, well, gosh, just in the last week, they've been in the teens last week. So this is a pretty impressive rise in dew point values. The west wind, in part responsible for that today. If you're going to the beaches to enjoy a sunset tonight, it should be beautiful. With generally an onshore flow now developing, it'll be interesting to see in the next few days whether or not we get any kind of irritant problems along our area waters because of concentrations that have been in the water but not in the air due to a persistent offshore flow. Now it's onshore. However, I think by tomorrow we'll start to see that flow start to reverse itself and become more offshore once again, which will be very nice for everyone. So expect to see over the next 24 hours increasing moisture, cloudiness start to build by tomorrow afternoon, and perhaps a chance of showers after about 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. It clears quickly, and Friday, right straight through the remainder of the forecast, remains dry. Ray?
The Sarasota YMCA's Safe Children's Coalition provides foster homes for kids who have been abused, neglected, or abandoned. ABC 7's Linda Carson introduces us now to an amazing Suncoast woman who provided homes for so many of these children.
For more than 40 years, this house has been a place of refuge for children in crises. Jackie Swain and her husband have 2 biological children that they love very deeply, but that didn't stop them from opening their home to other children when they were desperately in need. Jackie Swain has spent her life in Newtown. Just before her senior year, Booker High was closed by integration.
It's sad because we loved our school. Our hearts was at Booker High School.
She graduated from Sarasota High.
When I got out of school, I worked in a dress factory, and I was sewing because I was a very good seamstress.
After that, she worked at Sarasota Memorial Hospital in housekeeping, then went to college and became an X-ray technician, later drove the bus for the Senior Friendship Center in Scat. Meanwhile, she had found her calling, caring for foster children.
I started fostering when I was 22 years old. A young lady needed a home, and in order for me to keep her, I was told that I had to become a foster parent.
She's fostered over 100 kids, 10 the most at one time.
But it was a wonderful time. We had beds everywhere. It was a wonderful time.
Her aim is always for them to return to their own biological parents, but she's raised 15 to adulthood.
I raised them well, and they had good morals, and I raised them like family.
She's retired now and was recently honored by the YMCA Safe Children's Coalition for her work with foster children. Jackie says her foster children have brought her great joy, and they still do.
We still have family vacations together. I still assist them when they need it. They come over and see about me if I'm not feeling well, help me out. We are family.
And her life lesson?
I learned that their welfare, how I treated them, is how God treated me and people treated me. I have been favored through my life. And I think I've been favored because I kept these foster kids.
Miss Jackie has a collection of angels in her home, each one given to her by one of her foster children. But they all agree she's the #1 angel in their lives. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
What a lovely, lovely person. Thank you, Linda. On to entertainment news now. The man behind some of TV's most famous game shows has passed away. Chuck Barris died of natural causes yesterday at his home in upstate New York. He's best known for shows like The Dating Game, The Newlywed Game. He also hosted, of course, The Gong Show. It ran from 1976 to 1980. Chuck Barris was 86 years old. The release date for Chuck Berry's final album is out. The album titled Chuck will be released on June 16th. It's his first album since his 1979 Rocket. Tracks include Lady Be Good, this one, which is supposed to be a sequel to his biggest hit, Johnny Be Good. The rock pioneer passed away this past Saturday at the age of 90.
You going to prom with me? Yeah? Is that a yes? There.
An adorable promposal for a Kansas teen. 15-year-old Carly Whitman has Down syndrome. She wanted to go to the senior prom but had no one to go with. So to make that dream come true, her older brother's best friend stepped up to be her date. And he asked her in a pretty fun way by writing the question on a shirt that said, "I know I'm Nacho, your typical Dorito, but I'm going to be cheesy and ask, will you go to the prom with me?" And he says he did it not for the publicity.
She's brought nothing but joy to my life. Anyone who's ever around her, she makes them laugh, and she's always has a smile on her face, and she's amazing.
I love you, dude.
I love you too.
Nice story there. He even brought her a rose and presents when he asked her. Their photos are capturing hearts all over social media. Lovely, lovely story right there.
That's what life needs to be about. More stories like that. That was just truly wonderful.
Certainly nice, yes.
Good people doing good things.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll keep you posted throughout the afternoon on the situation over in central London right now. What we do know is Parliament's in lockdown. An officer stabbed, the suspect then fatally shot. More on the way on ABC 7. Have a nice afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Every now and then, factories authorize us to give deep discounts on furniture. And that time is now during the FlexSteel Factory Authorized Sale at Bacon's Furniture and Design. Shop the FlexSteel styles you love like Brandon, Dillon, Crosstown, Fleet Street Sectionals, and more. All at the guaranteed lowest authorized prices. Experience the beauty, the functionality, the quality for years to come with a lifetime warranty on FlexSteel's patented spring construction. The FlexSteel Factory Authorized Sale going on now only at Bacon's Furniture and Design.